Good morning, student. Today we are going to discuss about the relationship between the Kelvin scale and the Celsius scale. So, please note this note what written here. Kelvin is the SI unit of the temperature. That means 0 degree centigrade is equal to 273.15 Kelvin. For convenience, we take 0 degree centigrade is equal to 273 Kelvin. After rounding off the decimal, to change the temperature on the Kelvin scale to the Celsius scale, you have to subtract 273 from the given temperature, and to convert the temperature on Celsius scale to the Kelvin scale, you have to add 273 to the given temperature. That means if we want to convert Celsius or centigrade scale into Kelvin scale, then we have to add 273. Clear? Then we have to add 273. Suppose it's given 25 degree centigrade temperature. 25 degree centigrade, if you want to convert 25 degree centigrade temperature into Kelvin scale, then we have to add 273 to 8. That means 25 into 273. It will give 298 Kelvin. So 25 degree centigrade is equal to 298 Kelvin. Again, if any value in Kelvin scale given, then you have to subtract 273. Suppose it is given 280 Kelvin. It given 280 Kelvin. You have to convert it into Celsius scale. Then 280 minus 273. It will give 7 degrees centigrade. Clear? By this way you can convert a Celsius scale into Kelvin scale and Kelvin scale to Celsius scale. And always remember that Kelvin scale is the SI unit of the temperature. Kelvin unit is the SI unit of temperature. And always note that in case of centigrade, here we have give the degree sign, but in case of Kelvin scale we cannot give the degree sign, only capital K. Clear? Now come to the point activity 1.13. Here in this activity it is shown that a solid substance can undergo directly to the gaseous state on heating. A solid substance can undergo gaseous state on heating. Here the substance taken as ammonium chloride. The substance taken as ammonium chloride, and the experimental setup by this way. You have to draw this experimental setup. If we heat the ammonium chloride, then the ammonium chloride undergoes vapor state without converting in liquid state. Without going in the liquid state, it will convert into vapor state, and the vapor will collected at the top position of this funnel where the temperature is comparatively low. Clear? That's why they undergo condensation again to convert into solid. That means they does not undergo in the liquid state, they really go into the vapor state, and this kind of conversion is known as the sublimation. That means in the process in which a solid substance undergo gaseous state directly, that is known as the sublimation process. Clear? And the substance which undergo sublimation process is known as a sublime or sublimation also you can tell. Clear? Here is given sublimation of the ammonium chloride. So here the definition I think given. Let's read here. A change of state directly from solid to gas without changing into liquid state is called sublimation, and a direct change of gas into solid without changing into liquid is called the deposition. Clear? So the changing from solid to gaseous state is sublimation, and from the gaseous state to the solid state is known as the deposition. Clear? Now come to the next point, effect of change of pressure. That means if we decrease or increase the pressure, then what will be the change in state of the substance. Clear? Acha. Let's read here. We have already learned that the difference in various state of matter is due to the difference in the distance between the constituent particle. What will happen when we start pushing pressure and compress a gas enclosure in a cylinder? Will the particle come closer? Do you think that increase or decrease the pressure can change the state of matter? So what is written? We already know that the particle in any kind of substance, they have some specific space between them. In case of solid it's minimum, in case of liquid it's moderate, and in case of gaseous state it is maximum. Clear? So if we applying pressure, then the molecule will come closer to each other. Yes, obviously if we apply pressure, then the molecule come closer to each other and they will change their state. Suppose we are compressing a gas. If we compress a gas, then the gaseous molecule will come closer to each other, and if they come close sufficiently to each other, they will convert into liquid state. Again, if we compress a liquid state, the molecule come closer further and they convert into liquid state. Clear? So let's read here. Applying pressure and reducing the temperature, we can liquefy gas. Have you heard the solid carbon dioxide? It is stored under high pressure. Solid CO2 get converted directly to gaseous state on decrease of pressure of 1 atmosphere. What is 1 atmosphere? I am telling later. So solid carbon dioxide. So carbon dioxide is made solid by applying pressure on it. Carbon dioxide is made solid by applying pressure on it, and it converted into solid carbon dioxide. And again, if we release the pressure or reduce the pressure, then it will also then it will again convert it into gaseous state at 1 atmospheric pressure without coming into liquid state. Clear? This is the reason that solid carbon dioxide, also known as the dry ice. Yes, this is also known as the carbon dioxide. Solid carbon dioxide is known as the dry ice. Why it is called the dry? Let me explain. The ice is white color, the solid carbon dioxide also white color. The ice at first, if we increase the temperature, the ice at first undergo in the liquid state, then it will undergo in the gaseous state. So the ice wet the substance, but in case of dry ice, that means solid carbon dioxide directly undergoes in the gaseous state without coming into liquid state. So it does not wet any substance. That's why it's known as the dry ice. Clear? So this person have to do it properly. Thus, we can say that pressure and temperature determine the state of a substance, whether it will solid, liquid or gas. There is a table given. This one you will see carefully. Clear? Achha, now come to the point, what is 1 atmospheric pressure? This point is very much important. What is the 1 atmospheric pressure? See here. Atmosphere is a atmosphere, or the short form ATM, is a unit of measuring pressure exerted by a gas. The unit of pressure is Pascal. 1 atmosphere is equal to 1.01 into 10 to the power 5 Pascal. So you have to memorize this relationship properly. 1 atmosphere is equal to 1.01 into 10 to the power 5 Pascal. The pressure of air in atmosphere is called atmospheric pressure. The atmospheric pressure at sea level is 1 atmosphere, and it's taken as the normal atmospheric pressure. Clear? So what is 1 atmosphere? Got it? 1 atmosphere is equal to 1.01 into 10 to the power 5 Pascal. Clear? And the sea level, the atmospheric pressure is 1 atmosphere, and this is taken as the standard atmospheric pressure. Okay. Next, come to the point, evaporization. Evaporization means converting the liquid into gaseous state. Automatically converting the liquid state into gaseous state. Let's see what I have written here. We know that particles of matter are always moving and are never at rest. At a given temperature in any gas, liquid or solid, there are particles with different amount of kinetic energy. In case of liquid, a small fraction of particle at the surface having higher kinetic energy is able to break away from the force of attraction of the other particle and get converted into the vapor. This phenomenon of change of liquid into vapor at any temperature below its boiling point is called the evaporization. So this one you have already know that the particle in the substance are always moving. In case of solid it's minimum, in case of liquid it's moderate, and in case of gaseous state its movement is maximum. Clear? And this movement happens due to the kinetic energy. The movement happens due to the kinetic energy. Achha, in case of solid, the movement is very least, so their evaporation almost does not take place. In case of solid, the evaporation does not take place. But in case of liquid, the surface layer of the liquid, the molecule present at this portion contain a high kinetic energy. They contain a high kinetic energy. That's why they are able, sometimes they are able to break the bond between the molecule and they go in the gaseous state. That means the liquid molecule leave the liquid state and convert it into a gaseous state. Here we have to no need provide any kind of heat energy. It's take automatically process. And no need to boil also. So this is known as the evaporization or vaporization. So what's the definition? This phenomenon of change of liquid into vapor at any temperature below its boiling point is called evaporization. Clear? Now next point, factors affecting evaporization. So in which factors the vaporization depends, I am explaining. See here. Let us understand this with an activity. So activity, lead the activity 1.14. Take 5 ml of water in a test tube and keep it near a window or under a fan. Next, take 5 ml of water in an open china dish and keep it near a window or under a fan. Next, take 5 ml of water in an open china dish and keep it inside a cupboard or on a shelf in your class. Record the room temperature, record the time or date taken for the evaporization process in the above cases. Repeat the above 3 steps of activity on rainy days and record your observation. What do you infer about the effect of temperature, surface area, wind velocity on vaporization? So let's see what written here. You must have observed that the rate of evaporization increases with and increase of surface area. So if we increase the surface area, then rate of evaporation will increase. We know that evaporation is surface phenomenon. Surface phenomenon means the molecule go vapor state from liquid state in from the surface layer of the liquid. If the surface area is increased, the rate of evaporation increases. For example, while putting cloth for drying up, we spread out them. Clear? So if we spread out the wet cloth, then it will dry quickly. But if we not spread them, it will not dry quickly. So if we increase the surface area, then the rate of evaporation will increase. And increase of temperature. Increase in temperature, with the increase of temperature, more number of particle get enough kinetic energy to go into the vapor state. That means if we increase the temperature, the kinetic energy of the molecule increases, and the molecule it is become for the molecule to go gaseous state from the liquid state. So with increase in temperature, the rate of evaporation will increase. A decrease in humidity. Humidity means presence of moisture in the air. Humidity is the amount of water vapor present in the air. The air around us cannot hold more than a definite amount of water vapor at a given temperature. If the amount of water in the air is already high, then the rate of evaporation decreases. That means our air or the atmosphere can consume or can consume a certain amount of water vapor in them. There is a maximum value. Above this value, it cannot hold a more amount of water vapor. So if our atmosphere already contain high amount of water, then it cannot take more amount of water, then the rate of evaporation will decrease. So with increase in humidity, the rate of evaporation will decrease. Then an increase in wind speed. If we increase the wind speed, what will happen? Let's see. It's a common observation that clothes dry faster on a windy day. With the increase in wind speed, the particle of the water vapor move away with the wind, decreasing the amount of water vapor in the surroundings. So if the wind speed increases, then the water vapor or water molecule present around the wet substance is removed, so that the more amount of liquid water molecule go in the gaseous state. So with increase in wind speed, the rate of evaporation will increase. So see what are the factors. Those are the main factors. With increase in surface area, the rate of evaporation will increase. With increase in temperature, the rate of evaporation will increase. With increase or decrease in humidity, the rate of evaporation decrease or increase. And with increase in the speed of air, the rate of evaporation will increase. So read those portions properly. That's all for today. Goodbye.